Good morning. We are in the supplements to A Course in Miracles, and we're reading the Song of Prayer. And we are on section 3, praying for others. And if you don't mind, I'm going to drink my coffee while I read. So I'm going to put all my videos together as a playlist in YouTube so that they flow from one section to the other. Okay, so we're actually reading about prayer. Can you see that? Yeah. Yes. And we are in section 3, praying for others. We said that prayer is always for yourself, and this is so. Why then should you pray for others at all? And if you should, how should you do it? Praying for others, if rightly understood, becomes a means for lifting your projections of guilt from your brother and enabling you to recognize it is not he who is hurting you. The poisonous thought that he is your enemy, your evil counterpart, your nemesis, must be relinquished before you can be saved from guilt. For this, the means of prayer, the rising power and with ascending goals, until it reaches even up to God. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. For this, the means is prayer, the rising power, and with ascending goals, until it reaches even up to God. The earlier forms of prayer at the bottom of the ladder will not be free from envy and malice. They call for vengeance, not for love. Nor do they come from one who understands that they are calls for death, made out of fear by those who cherish guilt. They call upon a vengeful God, and it is he who seems to answer them. Hell cannot be asked for another, and then escaped by him who asks for it. Only those who are in hell can ask for hell. Those who have been forgiven and who accepted their forgiveness could never make a prayer like that. At these levels, then, the learning goal must be to recognize that prayer will bring an answer only in the form in which the prayer was made. That is enough. From here, it will be an easy step to the next levels. The next ascent begins with this. What I have asked for my brother is not what I would have. Thus have I made him my enemy. Have I made of him? Let me repeat that. From here, it will be an easy step to the next levels. The next ascent begins with this. What I have asked for my brother is not what I would have. Thus have I made of him my enemy. It is apparent that this step cannot be reached by anyone who sees no value or advantage to himself in setting others free. This may be long delayed because it may seem to be dangerous instead of merciful. To the guilty there seems indeed to be a real advantage in having enemies, and this imagined gain must go if enemies are to be set free. Guilt must be given up and not concealed. Nor can this be done without some pain, and a glimpse of the merciful nature of this step may for some time be followed by a deep retreat into fear. For fear's defenses are fearful in themselves, and when they are recognized, they bring their fear with them. Yet what advantage has an illusion of escape ever brought a prisoner? His escape from guilt can lie only in the recognition that the guilt has gone. let me repeat that, okay? His real escape from guilt can lie only in the recognition that the guilt has gone. And how can this be recognized as long as he hides it in another and he does not see it as his own? Fear of escape makes it difficult to welcome freedom, and to make a jailer of an enemy seems to be safety. How then can he be released without an insane fear for yourself? You have made of him your salvation and your escape from guilt. Your investment in this escape is heavy, and your fear of letting it go is strong. Stand still an instant now, and think what you have done. Do not forget that it is you who did it, and who can therefore let it go. Hold out your hand. This enemy has come to bless you. Take his blessing and feel how your heart is lifted and your fear released. Do not hold on to it, nor onto him. He is a Son of God along with you. He is no jailer, but a messenger of Christ. Be this to him, that you may see him thus. It is not easy to realize that prayer for things, for status, for human love, and for external gifts of any kind are always made to set up jailers and to hide from guilt. So prayers for things, status, human love, or external gifts of any kind are always made to set up jailers and to hide from guilt. These things are used for goals that substitute for God, and therefore distort the purpose of prayer. The desire for them is the prayer. One need not ask explicitly. The goal of God is lost in the quest for lesser goals of any kind, and prayer becomes requests for enemies. The power of prayer can be quite clearly recognized even in this. No one who wants an enemy will fail to find one, but just as surely will he lose the only true goal that is given him. Think of the cost and understand it well. All other goals are at the cost of God. I'm going to move on with section 4, praying with others. Until the second level at least begins, one cannot share in prayer, for until that point, each one must ask for different things. But once the need to hold the other as an enemy has been questioned, and the reason for doing so has been recognized, if only for an instant, it becomes possible to join in prayer. Enemies do not share a goal. It is in this their enmity is kept. Their separate wishes are their arsenals, their fortresses in hate. The key to rising further still in prayer lies in this simple thought, this change of mind. We go together, you and I. Now it is possible to help in prayer and so reach up yourself. This step begins the quicker ascent, but there are still many lessons to learn. The way is open and hope is justified. Yet it is likely at first that what is asked for, even by those who join in prayer, is not the goal that prayer should truly seek. Even together you may ask for things and thus set up an illusion of a goal you share. You may ask together for specifics and not realize that you are asking for effects without the cause. And this you cannot have. For no one can receive effects alone, asking a cause from which they do not come to offer them to him. Even the joining then is not enough. if those who pray together do not ask before all else, what is the will of God? From this cause only can the answer come in which all specifics satisfied, all separate wishes unified in one. Prayer for specifics always asks to have the past repeated in some way. What was enjoyed before or seemed to be, what was another's and seemed to be love. All these are but illusions from the past. The aim of prayer is to release the present from its chain of past illusions and to let it be freely chosen remedy from every choice that stood for a mistake. What prayer can offer now so far exceeds all that you asked before that it is pitiful to be content with less. You have chosen a newborn chance each time you pray. I like that. And would you stifle and imprison it in ancient prisons when the chance has come to free yourself from all of them at once? Do not restrict your asking. Prayer can bring the peace of God. What time-bound thing can give you more than this in just the little space that lasts until it crumbles into dust? I'm going to go over this once I finish. And the last section is section 5, the latter ends. Prayer is a way to true humility. And here again it rises slowly up and grows in strength and love and holiness. Love, let it but leave the ground where it begins to rise to God. And true humility will come at last to grace the mind that thought it was alone and stood against the world. Humility brings peace because it does not claim that you must rule the universe, nor judge all things as you would have them be. All little gods it gladly lays aside, not in resentment, but in honesty and recognition that they do not serve. Illusions and humility have goals so far apart that they cannot coexist, nor share a dwelling place where they can meet. Where one has come, the other disappears. The truly humble have no goal but God because they need no idols, and defense no longer serves a purpose. Enemies are useless now because humility does not oppose. It does not hide in shame because it is content with what it is, knowing creation is the will of God. Its selflessness is self, capital S, and this it sees in every meeting where it gladly joins with the Son of God, whose purity it recognizes that it shares with him. Now is prayer lifted from the world of things, of bodies, of gods of every kind, and that's a small g, and you can rest in holiness at last. Humility has come to teach you how to understand your glory as God's Son and recognize the arrogance of sin. A dream has veiled the face of Christ from you. Now can you look upon his sinlessness. High has the ladder risen. You have come almost to heaven. There is little more to learn before the journey is complete. Now you can say to everyone who comes to join in prayer with you, I cannot go without you, for you are part of me. And so he is in truth. Now you can pray only for what you truly share with him. For you have understood he never left, and you who seemed alone are one with him. The latter ends with this, for learning is no longer needed. Now you stand before the gate of heaven, and your brother stands beside you there. The lawns are deep and still, for here the place appointed for the time when you should come has waited long for you. Here will time end forever. At this gate, eternity itself will join with you. Prayer has become what it is meant to be, for you have recognized the Christ in you. And that is section 1 of the Song of Prayer. And then next I will read forgiveness. So we completed section 1 of the Song of Prayer. Helen Schuckman scribed the supplements to A Course in Miracles in 1977 after she wrote the Course to help clarify. So this last portion is basically it. So I'm going to reread it. I cannot go without you, for you are part of me. Now can you pray only for what you truly share with him, for I have understood he never left you, and you who seem so alone are one with him. The latter ends with this, for learning is no longer needed. You now stand before the gate of heaven, and your brother stands beside you there. The lawns are deep and still, for here the place appointed for the time when you should come has waited long for you. Here will time end forever. At this gate, eternity itself will join with you. Prayer has become what it was meant to be, for you to have recognized the Christ in you. So that's letting everything go and becoming one with God. And so I've tried to let go of some of the manifesting specific things and to make it more about becoming one in truth, in love, in light, and in service for the world, whatever way that is for you. I think it's for all of us in different ways. So I love you. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll read forgiveness next. Thank you.